So, the short answer is yes, but bear with me, hear me out. When we are depressed, and I've had my own massively checkered history with it, to the point that I've contemplated and planned, and I've had one lazy attempt, I guess, but when we are in those positions, oftentimes we're thinking either, how can I continue to survive? And sometimes, that's literally how can I continue to survive. It's literally struggling to find a reason. And then there's other times that how can I not continue to survive? How can I end this pain and misery that I have been subjected to for all this time? And those times are very dangerous. We hear people say, oh, it's so selfish and so cowardly. But when I agree with the idea that it's selfish, I don't consider the colloquial sort of meaning of that, which is kind of malicious almost, very much like, I don't care about any of you guys, I'm going to do what I want and sod you all, I don't see it as that, as this kind of malicious, nasty thing in this context. Obviously there are selfish people who fit into that criteria, and that's fine, but when I say that it is a selfish thing, I mean that you are solely focused on yourself. And sometimes with mental illness, being selfish is the best thing you can do. Now, sometimes with depression, those selfish thoughts actually lead you out of it because you're focused then on getting well. But that's kind of the opposite of really what the main topic is. It's when it gets too much and those selfish thoughts lead to the idea that you would be better and the world would be better without you in it. Oftentimes we do have friends and family and maybe co-workers and things like that who would be saddened by our distinct lack of presence anymore. But sometimes it's hard to remember that when you're in these very dark periods, when you gaze into the abyss, as it were. Sometimes it gazes back and you're locked into this staring contest into the darkest recesses of your psyche, and that can really take its toll. Now, whenever I've said in the past, I've been asked by a number of professionals, what has stopped you from committing suicide? And I've always been very happy when I've said, well, my family, my partner, friends would be saddened. That shows a great presence of mind and a great idea of the fact that you do matter. There is a sense of self-worth, even if it's just the last scraps you have. There is a sense of it, and that is fine, as long as you've got some to pull through. But not everyone has that, and if it's been that bad, or if it's been bad for that long, sometimes you feel that the best thing to do is not to be there anymore. And as I say, you are being very selfish. You are thinking of yourself and how to remove the pain you're feeling. It's not wrong to want to remove that pain. But if anyone out there's having difficulties, there's links below, but I want to reiterate here, if any of you are having difficulties, the key thing to remember is there is always at least one person, always, who would miss you, who would be sad, who would be distraught if you weren't here anymore. And if you're hearing this and it just sounds like, yeah, that's what everyone says, well, maybe this is one of those things that everyone says because it's true. And I'm happy to say, even if no one else out there has made you feel that you belong, that you're worthy, I'm going to stand up and say, I believe that you're worthy. I think you matter. I want you to continue and maximise your potential. There's always something on the horizon that you can look forward to. And it's learning through either medication, therapy, or combinations thereof how to keep sight of that and to keep going. So until next time, as always, and I feel particularly importantly this time, take care.